subscribe 주세요, 좋아요 주세요, and comment 주세요.
마코에.
Your 선생님.
Are you ready?
Are you ready? 간단하게. One of the oldest religions. ENG SUB. Take my money. Take my...
What?
The Nazis you were asking is some kind of for Israel.
Holy shit.
You're a holy shit.
맞았죠.
What's up? Shalom.
Shabbat shalom. 마코에.
Just stick to what you know. Hi. Today we're gonna talk about Judaism.
Let me talk. 안녕하세요.
Shalom 하세요.
오늘은 저번 영상에서 꽤 댓글로 많이 보였던 유대교에 대해서 영상을 준비해봤는데요.
Yes.
그래서 제가 가지고 있는 가장 정확한 인사이트를 가진 한 분을 모셨습니다. 짜잔!
Ta-da! I'll be your 선생님 for today
Yeah.
about Judaism.
How do you spell?
Judaism? Judaism is J-U-D-A-I-S-M. But Jewish is J-E-W-I-S-H.
It's like English class.
Yeah, I know.
So, since the Jewish or Judaism culture is not that popular in Korea, he was the first Jewish person I've ever met in my life. So I met
Bad first impression.
Until I met him, I didn't know about Jewish culture or Judaism, and still now. So, are you ready?
Are you ready? A microphone.
무대를 뒤집어 놓으셨다.
I'm gonna ask you questions one by one.
Oh wow.
So, what is Judaism?
Wow. That is a very broad question. Three main monotheistic religions. Monotheistic means a religion that believes in one God rather than other ones that believe in many, like Hinduism, let's say. So it's one of the oldest religions, right? And it's my religion, right? So I don't know what. How about you asking some more specific questions about what is Judaism? Because it's a very broad question, right?
What's the difference between Christian, Catholic, Judaism?
There's a lot of differences, but just to name a few, obviously, like we believe in our God, and Christians, Catholics believe in Jesus. Judaism, we can only eat food that is called kosher. Kosher is food that we are permitted to eat. And we have different holidays, of course. We don't celebrate the same holidays. And we have a different set of laws by the Torah or the Old Testament.
Yeah. Wait, can you explain what is this?
Oh, this cute
It's
little
so
thing.
cute.
This little thing here is called a kippah.
Kippah.
And that's the Hebrew word for it. It's a cute little name.
Kippah.
And this is something that we wear. Obviously don't wear it all the time. I'm not so religious.
You wear this when you sleep.
Okay. It's my nightcap. It's kind of like a reminder that God is always above us, and we have to be mindful of that with whatever we do. Yeah, but the people who are more religious wear it like all day, every day. They might take it off only for sleep, right? And shower.
Oh, I was gonna ask.
Sometimes people get them for their bar mitzvah.
Okay.
They make special kippah, and inside it says Noah's bar mitzvah, like whatever year. Actually, do you know what a bar mitzvah is?
I've heard from you.
Bar mitzvah is kind of like, in Judaism we have that for boys and girls. Let's say for boys is when they go from being a boy to a man, right? More boys, this happens at age 13, but actually a cool fact is that girls at age 12 because they mature faster.
Oh yeah, true.
So girls become women at age 12.
Guys.
Yeah, I know. We're a bit slower, but we're more fun. It's okay.
And brain-wise as well. Okay. So I remember, like, obviously when we were dating in Korea, like I said in the previous video, I was kind of suffering because of the food.
Yeah.
Because it's not familiar for you.
Yeah. So maybe just to give a bit more detail. Kosher is like the food that we're allowed to eat, right? So there's different rules of what can be eaten or not. Let's say for meat, the animal has to have cloven hooves.
Like this, right?
Like the foot has to be kind of like this when it's face down.
Yeah.
Right?
Like piggy.
Like pigs, but the reason pigs are not kosher is because the animals need to chew and digest their food a certain way. Like in how they, there's a certain way, and it's kind of a bit more complicated. So they need to have both of these features. There's also like the chicken is kosher, poultry, stuff like that, birds. And then fish that have like scales and fins, kosher. But shellfish are not, right? Are not kosher. And
so good, lobsters, crab, oyster, shrimp, you know?
But fruits and vegetables are all good. That's why a lot of Jewish people who travel somewhere and they can't find a kosher, go eat just vegetarian food, and that's fine. And there's also dairy. Dairy is mostly okay, but an interesting is that we are not able to, or not allowed to mix milk and meat, or dairy and meat. It goes like, you shall not cook a young animal in its mother's milk. It's kind of like, you see it, it's like, oh, that's a bit screwed up, right? To cook an animal in its mother's milk. Imagine like a cheeseburger, right? For people, religious Jewish people, they have to wait a few hours after they eat meat in order to eat dairy. Right? So no cheeseburgers.
True, like, it's kind of cruel when we think deeply.
Yeah.
It's like, you know, we eat that meat and then we eat milk that feeds the babies of that meat.
Yeah. So it's kind of, it's screwed up.
You know, there are so many restaurants that has like signs in front of the restaurant. Sometimes the sign, pig is pulled pork or something.
I see
like
that.
kind of concept, right?
No. Yeah, no, it's a bit weird always to see that. Again, it's a lot of details, but it's a lot of procedures, and there's a rabbi who has to oversee when the meat is being made. You remember what a rabbi is?
Yeah.
Right? It's like the equivalent of like a priest in like Christianity, right?
한국어로는 랍비라고 해요. 되게 탈무드에서 되게 많이 나오는 그런 인물. Like always like magician, like appears and then solve the problem and then just disappear.
And then someone else comes with a different opinion. Like...
Yeah. Next question. Okay, let's talk about happy things.
Okay.
So you know Christmas is coming, right?
What? And Christmas? What's that?
But you don't count Christmas as holiday.
No, we don't. We have different holidays, right? Like we mentioned before. So let's say for Christmas, we have a holiday that's close to Christmas usually, called Hanukkah. Or Hanukkah in Hebrew. Hanukkah. Wow, don't. Yeah, which is a holiday based on a miracle of lights. Back in the days when they used oil for lighting, you know, they put the flame where they only had a little bit of oil left, but it lasted for 8 days rather than they thought one day. It was like a miracle. It's like a very short story version of the story. So we light candles to remember this miracle. We also have Rosh Hashanah, which is like Jewish New Year. Again, we go by the Hebrew calendar, so it's not always gonna be like September 10th or something. It moves around, right? We also have Passover, which is a big one, which is when Jews escaped from Egypt. So we always, you know, read the story, remember how they escaped.
So
Oh wow, the mic came back. I wonder where it went.
So I know. Okay. I like.
Take my money. Take my money.
So
Hold it steady. Just hold it steady. Just don't move.
I really.
Can I hold it?
I really like what. I really like Natalie Portman.
That's a random thing to say.
No, she's from Israel and she's also Jewish, right?
Yeah, that's both true. She is Jewish and she is from Israel as well.
Oh yeah, and I like that Gal Gadot.
Gal Gadot, aka the
Gal
woman who
Gadot.
played Wonder Woman.
Yes. Who else?
Oh, there's quite a few. A lot of actually Jewish actors that maybe people won't know about, like Scarlett Johansson's also Jewish, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, Jake Gyllenhaal and his sister.
Yeah, of course, his sister.
James Franco.
I like James Franco.
Adam Levine.
Oh.
Yeah, there's a lot of them. Mila Kunis, of course.
I hate her.
Yeah, I like her. Yeah, no, there's a lot. There's quite a few in show business.
Yeah, so many talented and like good-looking Jewish celebrities, but like I'm the unlucky one. Does people recognize Jewish people by their appearance or something? I was wondering, like, oh, you look like Korean, or you look like Japanese, like that.
Yeah.
It's obviously not nationality, but
Yeah, so by the end of the day, like, the reason you can say like, Jewish that might have a look is because there's not as many of them and they come from the same people, right? Back in history. Obviously there's a lot of variety, like we named the celebrities. Obviously there's a lot of stereotypes, just like there is about every race and culture. Like sometimes if you know what to look for, like growing up around Jewish people, sometimes if there's a feature that it is more common, then you can say, oh, you're probably Jewish. Maybe, but it's not.
Oh.
It's only if you know, right? Like let's say Koreans, they have features that if you know, if you've seen enough Koreans or if you're Korean, you know what to look for, that you see, oh, you're Korean, like you're not Chinese, right?
but do you think you have obvious feature?
No,
Objectively?
I don't think so. Nobody ever guesses that
Really?
I'm from Israel or something. Only because you know, right?
From which country?
Oh, I get Brazil, Greece, Portugal. Like I think those are the top 3 that I usually get.
Additionally, I was wondering, I'm not sure if this offends you,
It will.
but so I've seen like some Holocaust movies,
Mm-hmm.
like Pianist, Sophie's Choice, like Life is Beautiful.
Yeah, it's a nice one. my favorites.
Especially in The Pianist, I remember like, let's say Jewish people walking on the street, and then the inspector just like, hey, come here, you Jewish, you're being arrested.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
No, I do. Yeah, so first of all, remember it's a movie, right? So it's not like automatically they know. As I said, even back then there were stereotypes about for Jews, what they look like. Like big nose, and my nose is kind of big, so I'm not helping the stereotype. Yeah, like big nose and like kind of like maybe a weird look. And a lot of these are meant to be offensive as well. The Nazis you were asking, if they're finding them on the street, it's not like everyone they see, oh, I know you're Jewish. They go and do random checks. If they think based on their stereotypes, this person is Jewish, they're gonna go to them. If they're Jewish, they caught him. If they're not, they're just like, okay, go. It's like a bit of racism, right? It's called racial profiling. Right? Based on someone's look, you inspect someone, right? And of course, at one point, they even made them wear yellow stars on all their clothing. Like this, like the yellow star, to differentiate, right? So if people wore it, they would know. If people didn't wear it, but they got caught, they would be in big trouble. Yeah. So it's not like you can recognize someone for sure, but just by visual appearance, if they have obvious features, then maybe you can tell.
It just stays so stable.
Yeah, of course. Scientifically made by God.
Can I wear? Oh!
You see?
Oh!
This one's a good one. It has a bit of suction. You want to start wearing it?
But it's not
How does she
for-
look? Write in your comments below. Like, dislike.
Oh! Oh!
Go down again. So other than the big nose, there's a stereotype that they're cheap. You know, they don't like to spend their money, they like to save wherever. There's a stereotype that all of them, that they are successful. That might seem like a good stereotype,
Okay.
but that actually turns bad because that's where people get the stereotype and the idea that Jews control the media or Jews control all the banks. right? Because I think all the Jews are successful and they control everything, and that's part of the reason why, you know, the Hitler didn't like the Jews, right? So he wanted to get rid of them. So even a good stereotype turns out to be bad.
How human can think of eliminating human
I know, it's
from human by human, you know?
it happens a lot in history, you know, not just for Jews, for
Yeah,
Jews
I know.
also. Yeah,
But crazy.
I know. It takes some kind of person. Yeah. Any more questions here?
I didn't know about Jewish people or Judaism that much before I met you, but I kind of had like background knowledge because of Talmud.
Yeah.
It reminds me of like smart or...
Yeah, which is also not a bad thing if you keep it there, you know, but if people go the extra step, that's where it gets dangerous. Like, oh, they're so smart, they're taking over, we gotta stop them. But smart isn't necessarily a bad stereotype.
No.
Nice.
Like good head.
Yeah, I've had times where I tell people like in Korea, like, oh yeah, like 유대교입니다, and they go, oh, wow. Yeah. I'm like, not me. But thank you for trying.
I like this.
Yeah, it's nice. You know what this is called?
Star of David.
Star of David, right? So in Hebrew we call it Magen David. David is David. Magen means shield. So it's like David's shield. So this
Who's
is
David?
King David. The shield himself is God. This is like a symbol of Judaism.
And I also have Hamsa.
She has a Khamsa.
Uh-oh.
Okay. So if you guys have any more questions about Judaism, please.
No, not at all.
아니 없어요 그냥.
Do you have any question?
When is this over?
Ah.
When is this over? So one other reason that we have such a strong bond is because Jews only have one country in the whole world where they can really feel safe and feel belonging to. Like Christians, Catholics, all together have, I think, around 120 countries where they're a majority in that country. So they celebrate those holidays, but we only have one. So Jews, you know, we all have this special connection to this one country, Israel. So it's very interesting because it's hard to understand if you're not in that, and people are like, oh, why are you so connected? It's because it's the only one we have.
Yeah. So Jerusalem is holy
Holy city.
holy.
You're a holy shit.
무지몽매한 것들은 그저 이 몽둥이가 이야기라.
The holy
Yes.
city of Judaism,
Yeah.
but also Christian, no?
It's one of the holiest ones. Is it the holiest? Yeah, might be
I
the
don't know.
holiest as well. But in Jerusalem, there's like a Christian quarter too. There's an area called the Christian Quarter.
I saw the Conan Israel, and I saw the person explain in Jerusalem there's like quarter
Yeah.
of Christian, Judaism, and Muslim.
Hmm?
코난 이스라엘 편을 꼭 보세요. 잘생긴 남자들이 많이 나와요.
So many like me.
싸늘하다.
It's nice because by the end of the day, they coexist there. Not always so peacefully, unfortunately. But yeah, there's like Israel, you can see them. But, yeah.
Yeah. I think that's it. We covered most of them.
General topics.
Yeah. 그래서 오늘은 유대교에 대한 문화나 아니면 그래서 오늘은 유대교에 대한 지식을 조금 알아봤는데요. 일상생활에서는 도움이 될지는 모르겠지만 혹시나 평소에 그냥 궁금해하셨던 부분이 조금 풀리셨으면 좋겠어요. So how was the interview?
That sucked. You forgot the microphone most of the interview. Even right now. You asked me stupid questions. Do you know more about Judaism now?
Yeah.
Are you regretting being
Before
with
the
me now?
interview. I've always been regretting.
Yeah, it doesn't matter. That's not related to Judaism. In conclusion, that is the general idea of Judaism. 감사합니다.
도다.
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 마세요 또.
Subscribe 주세요. 좋아요 주세요. And comment 주세요. See you next time.
다음 영상에서 만나요.
나중에 봐요.